Hi guys, welcome back with another video. If you're new here, welcome home. Today I'm going to be talking about whether or not Gen Z is entitled. Now, I can see both sides of the argument as to whether or not Gen Z has entitlement, and I will go into depth as to what I believe is best for Gen Z, what I think that they can improve, and what I do believe that older generation should really stop attacking us for. All right, so let's get into the video. So, just to preface this, I will be talking from a perspective of an American from the United States. I can't really speak for other countries, but I know they are experiencing similar struggles as American Gen Zers. Now, we really have to think about what the term entitlement means because I think people just kind of tend to throw it around without really understanding why they're saying it. For example, I got called entitled the other day on my one video because I said I didn't want to go to Paris. Like, I don't know how that makes me entitled, but okay, it's clearly not reaching the target audience. But we're not going to talk about that today. Entitlement, by definition, is people believing that they have a right to something. And I think older generations think that Gen Z is complaining and just having a poor attitude because they feel like they have a right to a livable wage, to be able to find a job in the degree that they're studying in, being able to live comfortably, and being able to eat the foods that they want, and just being able to have a quality of life that older generations typically had without having to sell their soul. So Gen Z is the poorest generation since the Great Depression. Inflation is plaguing us. The cost of education is skyrocketing. And that is not just for university degrees and university programs. It costs a lot to get into the trades as well, to get certifications for that. So that is a thing. And wages have not raised. Our minimum wage is still $7.25 since 2009, 16 years now. There are kids alive working right now for the same wage that was the minimum wage as when they were a baby, which is absolutely absurd. But yeah, some people do think that people are not being paid that wage anymore. They are. They are. There are still job listings out there that are advertising 725. And that is like sometimes particularly like delivery jobs where you rely heavily on tips, but it's just like tipping culture is another thing that I will talk about at some other point, but I don't believe that you should solely survive on whether or not the customer likes you or not, because you could do everything correctly and they could still not tip you. So, yeah, just like millennials, a lot of us do have student debt because we were indoctrinated with the idea that if we don't go to college, we will fail at life, which we know is not true. But if we're so real, especially older Gen Z, college was pushed on us a lot. And if you watch my YouTube video, Why I Regret Going to College, I talk more about how the teachers and sometimes a lot of our parents pushed college on us and thought that college was the only ticket to success, which it is not. And I'm glad the trades are being pushed more, but then again, they aren't for everyone. So, as a whole, Gen Z is struggling with their finances. And I would say the worst part is that most of the time the older generations don't really understand how difficult the job market is now. We are beyond the days of give the manager a firm handshake and hand them your resume and then you're hired. Nowadays, they're just going to tell you apply online and throw your resume in the trash as soon as you walk out the door. Even if you do talk to the manager beforehand, it is not a guarantee that you will get a job. There's a lot of ghosting, fake job listings. AI is knocking out a lot of our job opportunities. So it's just like sometimes there's just like no excuse of like, oh, you studied the wrong thing in college. 5 years ago, that was a prospect for a good salary, a good high paying or reasonable paying job that you could pay off your student loans with. And now it's just not a thing anymore because AI is taking away thousands and thousands of jobs. Trust me, I can understand why Gen Z is frustrated. But at the same time, I can understand the flip side of the coin as to why older generations are kind of getting sick of our crap. And that is including millennials. Now, most of these darn kids stuff is not new. It has been going on since the beginning of time. We have been calling the younger generation of people entitled, spoiled, whatever you will, since the 1500s. Okay? And millennials experience the same thing. They're just no longer in the spotlight because they're now over 30 years old. Now, the last thing in defense of Gen Z, most of them are under 25. Gen Z starts in 1997. So the oldest person born in 1997 would be 28 years old now. Your frontal lobe develops when you are 25. So a majority of Gen Z do not have a developed frontal lobe. Not that it is an excuse for their immaturity, but a majority of them do not have a developed frontal lobe, and they don't have a lot of adult life experience. So sometimes it isn't really fair to judge too much on their attitudes. But it is also important to think that there were 18-year-olds back in the day, World War II, Vietnam era, being drafted. Like Gen Z these days would not survive being drafted. But I will go to my next point now. Let's talk about the 40-hour work week. Gen Z is tired of working 9 to 5 and tired of wasting so much of their time in the office. They're feeling burnt out and they feel like they don't have time for anything else in their lives. A lot of them are advocating for the 32-hour work week, which I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. Systemically, I don't know how we would make that work because we are the United States and we are under the Trump administration. But yeah, a lot of Gen Z do not like working 40 hours a week and they're over it. They feel like they have time for nothing, which I get, which I understand. But you have to think about the way people made it work back in the day is because they didn't have constant screens distracting them, okay? Their favorite TV program turned on at 7 o'clock and turned off at 7:30, and that was it. Like you couldn't go back and watch it if you missed it. Like that was it. Like you just had to wait for it to come back on again as a rerun. And we didn't have like the constant phones, we didn't have the constant social media, we didn't have the constant stream of information that we do nowadays. Like back in the day, people had more of a relationship with each other because they didn't depend on their smartphone to talk to their loved ones and their friends and family. So as a result, they didn't feel as burned out from the information overload that we are experiencing today. And also, I've noticed that a lot of the people who are complaining about working 40 hours a week are usually working office jobs. Like, they're usually working desk jobs and stuff. Like, 40 hours a week in a cubicle is not the same as 40 hours a week in a trade, 40 hours doing HVAC, electrical, construction, stuff like that, working outside all day. Like, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I understand that it can be boring and a little bit exhausting, like sitting in the office all day, but you get to scroll Reddit. Half of these people are scrolling Reddit on their downtime. Half of these people have gotten their work done for the day in their first 3 hours of their shift. And, like, yeah, maybe we should advocate more for working from home if we don't need to go into the office. But at the same time, it's just like they don't really think about the other side of the coin, you know? If they can't survive 40 hours a week in a cubicle, how would they survive in the trades, you know? Like, what about the tradespeople who are breaking their backs daily and their bodies all torn up by the time they're 40? Like, I don't know. I think some Gen Zers, like, they don't really put things into perspective as well as they could. The one thing I cannot defend Gen Z for is their abysmal customer service skills. Some of them get customer service jobs and they're impolite, unfriendly to customers who have done nothing to them. Like, I understand customers can be dumb, they can be arrogant, they can be entitled, but I'm talking about someone who has done nothing to you, you've never seen them before. You should automatically approach them with kindness, automatically approach them with, hi, how can I help you? A smile on your face, eye contact. Like, if you're going to apply for a customer service job, it's the least you can do. And I'm tired of the excuse that, oh, capitalism's ruining all of us. Oh, I don't get paid enough. Oh, these customers are so entitled, so I'm just going to give them the bare minimum. Oh, I'm just going to give them the Gen Z stare. Like, it's just like, it's not their fault that the system is corrupt, okay? They're just one individual. They didn't do anything to you, okay? Just because they're an older person and maybe they struggle to tap their card on the card reader doesn't mean they deserve to be treated like crap, okay? And I think this is where Gen Z is absolutely entitled the most. Like, it's absolutely diabolical how terrible customer service is with the average Gen Zer. Like, if you don't like people, there are jobs for you to do where you don't have to interact with customers. You can be a dishwasher, like, you can do housekeeping, like, there are things that you can do. Like, nobody's holding a gun to your head saying, "Oh, you have to work cashier at McDonald's," or like, you have to work cashier at Target, okay? There are other jobs for you. I understand. Like, I had crippling social anxiety growing up. Okay, but I still made sure to say, hi, how are you? I still made sure to make eye contact the best I could. Okay, I still made sure to say, have a good day. These people aren't doing that. Okay, sidebar. I am going to tell you about the absolute worst customer interaction I have ever had. Like, it wasn't even an interaction. He didn't say anything except for the price. So I walk into the grocery store, right? I come to buy just something small. I don't even remember what it was. Probably like maybe like a water bottle and a snack or something. This man does not make eye contact with me. He doesn't say hello, hi, how are you? I put the items onto the conveyor belt. He says nothing. Then he looks up from his little notebook. I guess he's like writing something in a notebook. And he looks up from the notebook. He scans the items. Does not make eye contact or anything. He says the price. Okay? I put my card in the reader, take it out, and then he just shoves the bag in my face, not even looking at me. He's looking at the freaking notebook. He shoves the bag in my face. No, have a good day. No, thank you, ma'am. No, 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 nothing. Nothing. So I refuse to set foot in that grocery store again. And it's a shame because it's like really close to my house. It's really convenient and stuff. But that interaction was just so horrible. It was so humiliating. It was just like I just froze. Like I didn't really know what to do. Like I didn't want to give him like an attitude or anything, but it was awful. Like nobody deserves to be treated that way. I don't care if you're a boomer. I don't care if you're Gen Z. I don't care who you are. Nobody deserves to be treated that way. I don't know. Like I really do wish I did report him to the manager because that was absolutely unacceptable. It was so rude. Very rude, very ignorant. I'm sorry. That was just a little rant. But yeah. My point is that we're all struggling. Like we all have struggles, okay? Whether it be financial, familial, relational, health struggles, we're all struggling. It's not an excuse to be rude, okay? Like your kindness could make someone's day. Your kindness could change how they feel. Like they could have woke up on the wrong side of the bed and then your kindness could have made them have a smile on their face. Like I don't know, just please just get out of the news bubble, get out of your head, get out of the whole catastrophe that is the world, and just treat people with kindness. Like the whole corny little Harry Styles thing. Treat people with kindness. Yes, boomers in general did have it easier. Boomers as a whole did have it easier. It was easier to make an honest living without college, without like a fancy smanchy white collar job. You could make an honest living and raise a family on one income as well. But the thing is, disaster has been happening since the beginning of time. I understand 9/11. I understand the 2008 recession. I understand the whole catastrophe of Hillary versus Trump. I understand 2020, okay? I understand all of that. But boomers had the assassination of JFK. Can you imagine, like, not if, like, we had our current president, but let's say that Obama got assassinated. Now, y'all would not know how to act, okay? Y'all would not know how to act at all. And I understand it is a tragedy. It is a national tragedy. Like nobody wants their president to be unalived, okay? But I just genuinely think that Gen Z would use that as an excuse, and I think millennials would use that as an excuse too, to not try to better themselves. Like, oh, well, our president's dead, so what's the point of going on? What's the point of trying to achieve what I wanted to achieve? What's the point of trying to make it like my parents did or do better than my parents did? What's the point of anything? And it's just like this nihilism and misanthropy is becoming like a lot more like mainstream, and it's becoming a thing that's making Gen Z victimize themselves and becoming victims. And I know I'm not like I'm guilty of this. Okay? I'm not saying that this is all like everyone else and like I'm someone who's not influenced by this. Like I am guilty of it and I'm trying to work on myself to get out of this because I know that life is what you make it. The boomers had the civil rights movement, like the silent generation and the greatest generation had World War II. Like there was the Korean War, the Vietnam War, like all the protests, like all there were so many different assassinations in the 60s. Like there was uprising everywhere. And it's just like the thing is that Gen Z doesn't know how to tune out of that because back in the day, The program only ran but for so long. At 12 o'clock you got the standby signal. At midnight you got the standby signal. At midnight you got the national anthem, and that was it. Like, you couldn't stay up at 3 a.m. doom scrolling. You couldn't stay up at 3 a.m. hearing about war. You didn't have to hear about the Israel and Palestine conflict like all the time that we have to hear about, because we don't know how to disconnect. We don't know how to put the phones down when it is time to. Young people have always had some type of struggle. If you weren't wealthy, if you didn't have connections, like if you weren't white, like you always had some type of struggle, but they made it through, okay? They worked with what they had and they did the best that they could. And but Gen Z just want to give up. They just want to give up. They're just saying, well, the planet's dying anyway, so I might as well just like spend all my money on travel, go into thousands and thousands of credit card debt just so I can live in the now, like YOLO basically. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to travel. I don't think there's anything wrong with living your life. You have to be smart about it. Like, why are some of these people 20,000, 30,000, $40,000 in credit card debt because they wanted to take a vacation? Like, that's not smart at all. Like, you have to plan in moderation, okay? Nobody's saying that you necessarily have to do the Dave Ramsey method, like you have to live off of rice and beans. Like, it's okay to treat yourself once in a while. Like, my video saying like boomers just let us eat DoorDash, like, I don't mean that in the way you need to be doing food delivery all the time. Like, Gen Z feels entitled to get food delivery all the time. They're always getting fast food. They're always eating out. And I'm guilty of this, okay? I'm guilty of it because as soon as I got my own money, like, I just wanted to eat out all the time. And it's like, I don't know, like, I don't even like shopping that much anymore. It's food for me. It's food for me that traps me because it's like a dopamine rush. It's like a high of like getting that fancy new crumble cookie. I don't even like crumble cookies, but Gen Z loves crumble cookies. Like getting that new crumble cookie flavor, getting that new Dubai chocolate, like getting boba, getting matcha, getting Starbucks runs. I don't go to Starbucks anymore really, but getting your little treat because you're just a girl. Like, that stuff adds up. And Gen Z really thinks that the planet won't be around in 20 years. And yes, climate change is a thing. It is a concern. But what happens when we are probably here in 20 years and we will probably be able to inhabit this earth? And you have no savings, you have no retirement, you have nothing because you just wanted to live in the now because we're just gonna all die anyway. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, Gen Z is not future thinking. Everything is about the now. Like, I know they think they have no future because of the chaos, but it's just like you need to shut it off because this is not all that the world is. The world is not all chaos. The news isn't everything that is going on. Look at what is going on in your community, and I don't even mean just like bad things. Like, connect with your community, like volunteer, like maybe sign up for some classes like at the local art studio or something, or like maybe do some gym classes. Like, even if you like pickleball, like, I don't want to do pickleball, but even if you like pickleball, take some pickleball classes. Like, get to know people personally. Like, Gen Z doesn't know how to do that. They don't want to talk to people, and I get it. I'm an introvert, but it makes the perspective of the world so much less daunting. Like, it makes life seem more like it's worth living when you have like a close community and it's not all just tragedy, it's not all news, it's not all capitalism, inflation, all of these buzzwords. Okay, and it also makes you like not want to spend as much money, you know? Like when I have community, like I feel like I get like that dopamine from there, and I don't need to be buying like $9 boba drinks, you know? Social media is also making people think that they need to live life like an influencer, like they need to be going to all these different countries, all these different countries, and constantly traveling and constantly wearing like certain clothes, like following certain trends that will be over within 6 months. Like, I never bought a Stanley Cup because I knew it was just a trend. I knew I that it just would not be popular within like a year's time, and I was right. Now it's Labubus. Everybody wants a Labubu. I bet you, like a year from now, like everyone would be like, "A Labubu? That's lame. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it's so stupid. It's pointless. Like, if you like trinkets, that's fine. If you like cute things, that's fine. I think gotchas are cute, like the little ball things, like the Japanese ball things that come from like the vending machine. Those are cute. Like here and there, like if you just want to spend your money on little trinkets and stuff, that's fine. But like it shouldn't be a justification for why you're in debt, for why you have no money, for why you have no savings. You you have to act like that there is a future, because most likely there's going to be. Live for the now, but also think about your future, because time is going like this, okay? Every year you age, life feels like it's shorter, okay? I'm shocked that it's already July. I feel like it was just Christmas. Like, I'm shocked that it's already July. Excuse me. We can't use all of the tragedy that's happening in the world as an excuse to spend irresponsibly, to just totally cut off everyone, totally just not put in any effort in establishing relationships, establishing friendships. Like, we can't use it as an excuse to just be awful towards other people. Like, we just can't. Because then it, like, really, like, what would be the point? Like, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know? Life is what you make it, guys. And I have to tell this to myself too, you know? I've been indoctrinated a lot. I use DoorDash way too much, and I'm trying to lessen it. Like, and I want to establish closer friendships. I want to establish closer relationships. I want to be more open. I'm working on that too. So I'm not totally attacking people my age and everyone younger than me. But life is what you make it, guys. So let's make it rock. No, I'm just kidding. For anyone who got that, the Hannah Montana reference. Yeah. But yeah, life is what you make it. So, yeah, be conscious politically, be conscious of what's happening with the world, but don't be afraid to like take a break, you know? Don't be afraid to plan for your future, because you'll thank yourself later, you know? You'll thank yourself later. Don't forget to smile at someone today. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. See you later.